The IMF has applauded India's economic performance and termed it as a star performer. As per the IMF, India is projected to contribute 16% of the global growth. Meanwhile, IMF also projected that Indian economy will grow to 6.3% in the current fiscal year. IMF, in fact, released its annual article in consultation with India, and according to which the South Asian country is on track to be one of the fastest growing major economies in the world this year. Colonel J.S. Sodhi joins us on the broadcast to talk more about this. Colonel Sodhi, as projected and as hailed, India is on course, on chart to become a bright spot that it already is when it comes to a gloomy international economic atmosphere, and of course that has a lot to do with the current government as well.
Vineet, it's my honor to be on a news channel. A few years back, OECD had published a report which said that in the year 180, that is thousands of years back, India's contribution to the global GDP was a whopping 34%. But everything changed in 1757 when the Britishers came to rule India. And when India got independent in 1947, our contribution to the global GDP was mere 1.1%. So this report of IMF which has come is indeed a very welcome report. It is a clear sign that the government of India under the stewardship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi is heralding India towards the right direction, be it economically, be it militarily. And this is the reason we are seeing that year on year, ever since Prime Minister Modi became the Prime Minister for the first time in 2014, India is seeing a rise in its economic power and its military power. The whole credit goes to Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his team of ministers who have done a wonderful job in taking India to such a great stature on the international platform.
Right. And Colonel J. Sodhi, according to you, what kind of a course should India be maintaining at this point in time? When it comes to staying on course to this progress that we have made despite several odds, including COVID-19, and where does this also place India in terms of prioritizing what the world is looking at? Of course, China's equity when it comes to supply chain and other scope has come down, has deteriorated. So this should also be construed as an opportunity for us.
Definitely, Vineet. In fact, ever since the world came to know that the Wuhan virus originated from China, many big companies want to move away from China, and slowly they are doing it. India can seize this great opportunity, and in my opinion, if we make a little more business-friendly labor laws and business-friendly tax regimes, more and more big companies will shift their manufacturing bases from China to India. Beneath centuries back when India was a great economic power, our strength was both agriculture as well as manufacturing base. Today, our manufacturing base suffered immensely after the Britishers took over us. But now, in the last 1 decade, due to the vision of Prime Minister Narendra Modi through his Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India initiatives, this manufacturing base is again picking up speed in India. So if we have little minor changes, I am sure that we will be able to attract more big companies and help them move their manufacturing bases from China to India.
Right. Dr. Sharath Kohli, senior economist, joins us on the program as well. Dr. Kohli, a very good morning to you. Well, the IMF has hailed India as, of course, the lone bright spot when it comes to, economic buoyancy. But at the same time, it's also said that India is going to be responsible for a large chunk of the growth that the world is going to see in the next few years.
Well, good morning, Vineet, and good morning to all the viewers of NewsX. Indeed, I mean, India has shown the way to the world. And it's very heartening to note when you see some of the world's biggest economies, some of the most developed economies, looking at the India model of growth. I call this as the India model of growth because I remember this was the same country when during COVID, there was a lot of criticism showered on the governance here that, you're not doing helicopter money and you're not doing this, you're not doing that, while the developed economies were busy printing currency notes. I mean, America was busy printing dollars. And look what it did to them. I mean, they are unable to control inflation. Their interest rates went through the roof. Not that it didn't happen in India, but we were able to control it much better. So I think it's overall reforms which have happened, the overall governance methodology which has happened, the overall, the schemes, welfare schemes, development projects, and the biggest takeaway for me, if you ask me, what has contributed, there are two main factors which I attribute to the star performance. One is government's very determined and very, very, conviction-driven approach to infrastructure. More than $1.5 trillion, being committed for this, and most of it has already gone into it. Construction of roads, bridges, airports, smart cities, and so on and so forth. The number of welfare schemes which are going on. So the first takeaway for me is infrastructure. The second takeaway, big takeaway for me for the star performance, which not many people, may have noticed, a very silent revolution which has happened in the country, is the fintech. I think fintech has contributed in a big way because, the way UPI has picked up in this country, more than 70 lakh crores transactions in a month. 1,141 crore is the number of transactions happening. This may not be directly contributing to the growth, but it is definitely proving to be a catalyst for growth because the way business is being done, the way money is changing hands, and introduction of digital currency. I mean, there's so many things. If I go on, probably I'll run your entire bulletin is going to get burnt away in what I say. But principally, yes, India has shown to the world that in a population of 1.42 billion people, you can still govern the country, you can govern it efficiently, you can make policies which are selfless, which are only meant for people. And I think the current government has shown it over the last 9 years. A very, very glaring example and a very glaring evidence of that, Vineet, is that from 1947 to 2014, we reached $2 trillion of GDP, in about 66, 67 years. And now from 2014 till date, we are within kissing distance of $4 trillion. So something must have been done. What happened in 67 years has matched what happened in these 9.5 years. I think that is the magic of doing something when you do it selflessly, when you do it for the development of the country. And I think we are very much on road to becoming a developed country, although 2047 has been the threshold which the Prime Minister has set in. But my own analysis says if we grow at 7 to 8% or 8 to 9% in the times to come, we can reach that milestone sooner. We are very near to becoming the third largest economy after America and China, but then becoming a developed country is not a far-fetched dream right now. I mean, one can never say that, well, God knows when our country is going to become developed, because the pace and the way things are moving from here, I think we can get there much sooner. And I think this is what every Indian should be proud of. And a very important point, Vineet, which I would like to mention, a lot of people who say that if India has touched $4 trillion of GDP, how does it matter to us? But I must inform, and I must really convey this to this dialogue today, that ultimately GDP is formed about products, services being produced, given by you and me. So every citizen of the country contributes to GDP. So as GDP grows, some people may be able to grow faster, some people may be able to grow sooner. But we have taken a road, we have taken a path, which is definitely going to bring prosperity to every Indian. It may be delayed. Some people may get it in 1 year, some may get it in 4 years, but it's definitely going to happen. So a very proud moment for India for IMF to be saying that India is a star performer. And I'm sure a lot of countries around the world would like to replicate this model of governance.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.